Dante Greco.
Dante is a really smart guy.
Ladies love Dante. Look at that head of hair. Look at that face. What's your name? Casey.
Dante Greco.
Dante.
Hello?
Yours truly.
I'm gonna come.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dante Greco Show. It's a special show. It's not quite a holiday show. It's a movie review show. Last night, first of all, let me introduce. This is my beautiful, lovely girlfriend, Evie Montavelli here.
Hi, guys.
Some of you may know us from our Los Angeles couple page. Last night, we went and saw a movie called Violent Night, starring David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things, where he plays Santa Claus, and it is violent. And we also recently saw a movie called The Menu with Ralph Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy and a bunch of other people. And we were kind of surprised at how these movies that are, you would think are like, B movies, were actually pretty good. So today we're going to discuss them a little bit, right, babe?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was telling Dante, I was like, there's nothing else to watch. And the movie theaters, we watch all like the kind of like better rated movies. So I was like, babe, it's the holiday seasons. Like when I was a kid, I would watch Gremlins or watch like, I don't know, weird movies for the holidays. It's been kind of like a tradition of mine. I'm like, let's just go watch it, right? And we love to sit at the Reserve because we can put our legs up, get a free like kettle corn popcorn.
Yeah, if I've said this often, the only movie theater, at least in LA, worth going to is the Cinemark movie theater. They have the reclining seats. They do those right. It's always clean. Like you said, the kettle corn is fantastic.
He loves the beer. He has this giant beer cup or something.
Give you a gigantic cold beer mug. It's like basically a beer stein. Yeah, it's like I feel like I'm in Bavaria. Yeah, it's very refreshing. So only way to see a movie.
So let's start with the one with the chef. So that movie, the one that we watched first. First of all, so I was like, this is gonna be a shit fest because they say in the trailers, we watched the thing. It's kind of like the Gordon Ramsay thing, and they say, "Yeah, chef, and it's like I was just like, I don't know, it's gonna be bad. But guys, don't judge it based in how cheesy it was. It was cheesy, but it was cheesy good.
It was a good dark comedy. It had, it was also, violent to an extent, but it had a lot of laughs. The pacing was good, decent performances. Curiously, John Leguizamo is in both of these movies. The Menu, John Leguizamo. He played the bad guy in Violent Night.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, so he was in The Menu, and like I didn't even think that he was still working that much because I always see him complaining these days about his roles and James Franco playing Castro and complaining about Chris Pratt playing Super Mario. I thought he was just like some guy that was out of work complaining about Latino representation in movies. So it was cool to see him perform, and he does a good job. He should be getting hired.
No, he was great. He was great, and also he plays. So in that movie, spoiler alert. So like. He plays kind of like this like Hollywood guy that had like a lot of like big hit movies, and his career was he's kind of like becoming irrelevant in a way. And it's funny because he enters a restaurant with his wife, and he kind of like typical like. No, that's not gonna work.
You move. Yeah.
Okay, here. Okay. Yeah. Try to fit here. But it's funny, like he enters the scene with fighting with his like hot, like Miami looking wife or whatever. She's his manager, and it's confusing. They're fighting, and they're kind of like the stuck-up couple, and he's the Hollywood guy in that movie. Then there is the what is her last name?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
She's the actress who I first became aware of her when I saw the billboards for The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, which I never watched. But then I realized she's actually been in movies that I've seen
for forever.
She's the actress with the that's her sitting right in the front with the red hair. She's got those eyes, like the interesting eye shape. And she was in God, what was that movie that we saw?
The Viking movie.
The Northman.
Northman. She was the one that I mean, she has an extensive career. Let's not read her IMDb. But anyway, so she is a girl going with her. We don't know yet what they are, but it seems like her boyfriend to a very fancy culinary event. They take a boat, and she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a fantastic thing. I'm a huge fan of the chef. We're gonna like experience like food in a way that we never experienced before." And so everyone going there, they spend, I don't know, probably like $100,000 or more to be invited to that experience.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, Dante and I have so many like pet peeves about eating in restaurants or going out. For example, one of my biggest pet peeves is that when we go to fancy restaurants, first of all, the amount of food that they serve you is ridiculous. So there was like little moments in the movie where they don't serve bread. They serve a deconstructive bread, or you're not supposed to eat the food before doing this, this, and that. So it's so funny because Dante and I went to this fancy Italian restaurant, like almost like $100 per person to eat a plate of pasta, and we asked for cheese, and they said the chef would not want to bring cheese. And then we asked for someone else to bring cheese. They said no cheese. The other server, the manager came over, the chef came over and said, "You're not putting cheese on the pasta." Like, in what kind of world we live?
That's this weird Italian thing of like,
no, chefs. I think it's a chef thing. They think
No, but
they
I
can
mean,
control how you eat the food. It's
I mean
like
that Il
weird.
Pastaio. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people. This whole hipster fascination with chefs and cuisine that was probably kicked off, or at least I don't know if it was kicked off by Chef's Table on Netflix, but it's certainly fed into that. Now all
We're
of a
paying
sudden,
money. You put the cheese there. Come on, it doesn't cost you anything to do that.
yeah, everyone's acting like the chefs are some infallible
Artists.
like mystics that they know how to bring you flavor. And it's like, listen, I've had your pasta, your seafood pasta a million times. If I want to put Parmesan on it this time, I'm going to put some
Parmesan on
I mean,
it.
come on, what's the big deal?
What's the matter with you? No, and then in the movie, all those little pet peeves that if you eat in fancy restaurants, you would like feel it. You would laugh at it. There's moments people like, you gotta understand what's in the chef's mind, and all the whole night. So there's like,
yeah, it's a send up of that in a way of like the gravitas that these chefs operate with. Oh my God, we got to do what the chef says.
Exactly. And one of the things I find it very weird was like, so like I said, there was the Latin movie star couple. Then there is the main couple, which is the Jennifer Lawrence ex-boyfriend. I forgot his name.
Nicholas Hoult, who plays a really let me see if I can pull
super
up
fan of the
really he's the guy sitting next to her with his finger on the fork.
He's a foodie.
But he is so good at playing a rich, entitled douchebag. He also played a similar character in the Hulu show The Great about Catherine the Great. I mean,
oh yeah, he played the king Louis.
Yeah,
with Elle Fanning, right?
Yeah, or I don't remember.
No, it's Elle Fanning. It's Elle Fanning.
Yeah, he plays a great douchebag. Like, you gotta imagine, because actors bring themselves into the role. You got to imagine that he also has this within him. He's like a spoiled, pretentious douche. Probably the best douchebag we've seen on screen since Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, you think he's a douchebag?
Well, he plays a good douchebag.
Really?
Like, remember in Meet the Parents, he's a big douche.
I think like the biggest douchebag there has to be what's his name? The British guy that was Notting Hill. I forgot his name.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant is a big douche.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Let me rephrase this. I love Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant is amazing, but he does a great job playing like stuck up
I know, but
British guys.
But this guy is like, Nicholas Hoult is like a spoiled little brat type of douchebag. Hugh Grant, I believe, is capable of murder. Like, he has a murderous. I've seen like videos of him talking to paparazzi, and I've even seen him on the street a couple of times.
Murder.
He's got like a rage in him. When he was in that show with Nicole Kidman, I thought that was the real him.
Oh my God, that show was amazing, by the way. But okay, so we're talking about the movie. What's the name of the movie again?
It's The Menu.
Yeah, The Menu. So this movie we strongly recommend. and it's funny and it's cheesy, but cheesy the right way. And
Yeah.
and the characters in the movie, the stuck up like foodie reviewers or
Reviewer.
whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like this kind of like fancy lady that she looks like she works at Vogue, and the other guy that probably work for the New York Times, and they go there and
Right.
they think like they actually were so narcissistic that they thought that the entire experience was hired actors to make them feel good about themselves.
Right.
And they thought it was all reenactment. So it was hilarious. Then there is like the tech douchebags or finance douchebags, whatever you can put it in there. It fits the narrative. And it was so typical. They got the exact right amount of people of the right ethnical background to play them, because there's one of each kind.
Right.
There was the typical tech guys table, and they were like, do we really pay for this? You only run this business because of me. And they were like, kind of have the entitlement. So the catch is everyone is there, and they all kind of like hated by
the movie. What's great about it is it covers every archetype that's in our culture right now. Like you said, the tech guys,
the tech
the
guys,
pretentious foodies, the food critics, who else? The old, out of touch, white, rich people.
Oh yeah, that the husband cheats on the wife, and the wife is bitter. And there was like it was every there was a character that would fit with everyone there. Like definitely,
which is great because they hit everybody in this
hit
movie,
everybody
basically.
in this movie.
It's a good send up. It was surprisingly well written.
It was so good, guys. Like I would never think that movie. I went there while I was like looking at Dante. I was like, babe, this is gonna be a disappointment, and it wasn't. It was so good.
Well,
cheers to that.
When we saw the trailer, I was thinking like, what is this? Like some like shit?
Gordon
they're trying to capitalize off that show, The Bear, because we had just watched this show on FX, The Bear, about this guy who's like a Michelin starred chef who goes back to work at his brother's.
He looks like Dustin Hoffman,
that
that actor, a little bit. He looks like a young Dustin Hoffman with blue eyes.
He goes back to work at his brother's little like dingy sandwich shop in Chicago, and the whole thing that came out of it that there's memes about is when the chef talks to you in the kitchen, you got to respond, yes chef, yes chef, yes chef. So when we saw this trailer and Ray Fiennes has like every chef in the kitchen is going, yes chef, at everything that he says.
I thought about Hell's Kitchen.
I thought
I was thinking about Gordon
up?
Ramsay. I was not thinking about the Bear Show. I was thinking about Gordon Ramsay, thinking the scallops are raw.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, but he's not really that type of character in the movie. Right?
Okay, no, but then the movie turns into creepy. Like I don't know how much we want to spoil here, but we'll better
listen,
not.
if you're watching, there's spoilers. We're talking about the movie. If you don't want to hear it, if you want to come back and watch this after you see the movie, do that, because we're just going to talk freely. It's too hard to remember what happened. What's the spoiler?
No, but the thing is, the whole thing start becoming creepy. So they don't let you out, or the character goes to the bathroom. The chef follows her because she doesn't want to eat anything, because the food looks like kind of like a fancy, boring type of thing, and she was not interested. She was frustrated with her date at the time. We thought that she was his girlfriend. And then later on, we find out that she was hired like a escort because his girlfriend broke up with him, and he wanted to bring someone to have this experience with him so he doesn't have an empty table. And the chef goes around in the bathroom while she's in the bathroom, and it was like, hey, why are you not eating? Is there something I can do? How can I not serve you? And it was just so annoying. It was kind of like that, like I said, the entitlement the chefs have, or the whole like the cooking industry.
And they bring out these plates that are tiny plates with these minuscule portions of
dots,
just like
some dots of oil.
Yeah, some resin on them, and they'll charge you $89 for the plate. It's
$800.
It's that insane. It's like that Grant A-Shatz bullshit from Chef's Table.
Oh God, I hate it. I hate when they do that.
But they do a great job.
They did a great job.
And this chef, as you find out, again, spoiler
What's
alert.
the name of the actor though? The chef, he has like a cliff lip or something. What is his name?
The main guy, Ray Fiennes.
He has he plays guys like he plays weirdos pretty well. Actually.
No, he's great. I mean, listen, he was very good as I forget the name of the character in Schindler's List, but he played a Nazi that scared. That was so scary that actual survivors of the internment camp would tremble when they saw him. No, so it's just the point is that he's a great
actor.
He's great at embodying these very scary characters. He you find out that the chef has vendettas against all these people, that the wealthy tech bros are working for his
Boss company,
his angel
the
investor,
yeah, the angel investor,
the guy who funds his restaurant. And of course, the restaurant is like some fancy modern architecture with windows on an island. You have to take a boat to get to the restaurant.
You're
It's all
trapped there
very
basically.
special.
Yeah, you're kind of trapped in the restaurant once you go to that experience.
Yeah.
And then the thing is that I thought was so creepy. Like you get in, and the person welcoming you, she kind of looked like a samurai in a way, because she was like wearing the samurai clothes and with sleeves. And she was like, "Sit down there now. Oh, can I have this? Sit down, please." And it like kind of like in a kind of like a kind, like a passive aggressive, but like in a real passive aggressive way. And it was so scary. I was just like, she just sounds like she's gonna imprison me here. It didn't look like a normal behavior. All of them were weird. They don't look at you. They don't make eye contact. Which remind me, at Disney, babe, we go. Okay, Dante and I, when we go to Disney, we love to go eat at Coffee Circle. It's like a nice restaurant. It's hard. It's like very hard to get reservation at Disney at that California Adventure. And I remember we're trying to get a drink, and none of the service people make eye contact with you in this fancy restaurant.
Oh,
Only
God,
when they
yeah.
gotta serve you.
That's
And I Dante was like, I noticed that they always do that here. And I was like, how so? But then in the movie, it looked like the movie, the Disney fancy
No,
restaurant.
this is something that is going on. We talked about this in a video a long time ago,
They
but
don't
like,
make eye contact with you.
yeah, waiters,
Employers.
everyone that works in a restaurant is trained not to make eye contact with you until it's time, and then they take a really long time to come to your table. It's like, I put this as a joke in the video, like it's like The Exorcist. You try to get a waiter's eye contact, and they just spin their head all the way around.
Like they're robots.
60
Like
degrees.
they're like we're on the Matrix,
Yeah.
and they're just like bots. They're like Mr. Smiths. They just like look at you like they're like, you're like, do you need my service? And I was just like, what the frick? An entire movie, they make that on steroids, actually. So they don't even make eye contact with you. The only person that talks to your table is the host, is the girl, the samurai girl that kind of welcomes you, but looks like she's gonna kill you.
And look, I'm empathetic to people working in the service industry. I've worked in the service industry. You know, we tip well, we're nice, we're polite, we're not
We're the cool people.
we're not needy, but it's also, I don't know if after COVID, everyone wanted to have like the service industry's revenge and just decide to pull back on the hospitality, but it's definitely a less hospitable world.
And how
out
come we
there.
cannot have the reservations for anything these days? Like you try to go like get sushi somewhere or
Yeah.
pasta somewhere, you have to go there, put your name in line,
So many places,
and go walk around.
Yeah.
Like they're like, just walk around. It's like 60 minutes to
There's
2 hours wait. I'm like, what am
so
I
many-
supposed to be doing here outside? I don't have enough games on my phone.
so many places are eliminating reservations, and worse, they're eliminating contact. You can't call them anymore. You can't even email them. I was told once, oh, you want to email Sugarfish to find out what the wait is? Email them. I emailed them. I got an automatic form letter back. Like, they don't want you to contact them. They want you to get in your car and drive to them first to see them and just take the chance. Like, your food is so good, I'm gonna trek.
We do that every time though.
Yeah, we do, but
We
we live
do.
close. Getting back to the movie, it's
It's amazing.
a delightful dark comedy.
Everyone in the
rom.
movie theater was laughing together. It felt like a communal experience in a way. It's weird.
Yeah.
It felt like a communal experience.
It's a good movie to see
Watch
in
with
a
people.
theater with people.
A lot of people. Make sure the movie theater is full. And by the way, everybody was so surprised because I think everyone bought a ticket thinking like this is a waste of $15. But
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I had some hope because when I looked at the cast, I was like, oh, it's a decent cast. They're not going to do something
No.
terrible. But
I mean, it happens.
I was a lot more pleasantly surprised than I expected.
Yeah. So we recommend this one. And there's another Christmas movie that I want to
That's
talk
right.
about that we
Now,
super recommend.
Last night,
Last
we
night,
saw a movie.
another movie.
Called,
I was like, there's nothing to watch on TV. We have all our shows in. We don't want to watch another episode of what is it, Outland or whatever. What's the name of the one? The
we're watching Outer Range.
Outer
with
Range with Josh Brolin.
right
It's
now.
great, but we're sick and tired of the cowboys and the aliens. So we're like, we gotta go watch a movie. And I was like, Dante's like, this is gonna be complete trash. And I was like, Dante, it's Christmas time. It's the time to watch things like this. We went there and guys, what a delight it was, that movie. Like, I
Well-
cannot even describe.
Well, first of all, there's a couple things that I want to say about it. Again, oh God, look at my hair. Jesus. Okay, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna get into it. So it's a violent movie.
Super violent.
Lives up to the title. And my only issue
If you have blood
was-
problems, or if you don't like Tarantino movies, has a lot of blood, don't watch it. This is a very Tarantino Christmas.
Yeah, to an extent, but it doesn't have those stylistic flourishes or homages to old films that Tarantino movies. are
Yes, it
littered
does. He did homage to Home Alone.
with. Okay, maybe that one. But anyways, Violent Night. Here was the thing. It's violent and it's comedic, but I don't think I felt tonally it was uneven during the early scenes when spoilers when the robbers come in and they start killing off the staffers that work in the home. Basically, this team of robbers comes in to steal a fortune from this very rich woman played by Beverly D'Angelo, and she lives in this very nice mansion in, I don't know, someplace where it snows heavily in the woods.
Somewhere that snows heavily. Wink.
Yeah, who knows? Ohio, I don't know. And
Washington State.
So they break in, they start killing off all her staff that are there to serve them. It's Christmas Eve. And the killings are kind of pretty violent and gratuitous. So it's like, but meanwhile,
It's
they're
so
playing
violent.
like Home Alone style Christmas music.
Yes.
And I didn't feel like that meshed the Home Alone style innocent Christmas music with shooting a security guard.
That was a choice.
in
That
the
was my
head.
choice.
Point blank, because like something's got to get, it's got to be either like dark music when you're doing that, or you don't make it so
It's a
explicit
style.
when you shoot the guy point blank in the head, because it made you uncomfortable. It was a little bit like, holy shit, like that's kind of fucked
No,
up.
I thought it was amazing. I thought that the calm music to kind of keep your core like kind of like calm and collected, and then you get the guy being shot in the head and blood everywhere. It felt like it was so funny to a point that they were playing like Christmas music. And it was like some horrible violent scenes, and it's just like blood everywhere. They got cut. There was stuff going through their head, and there's a Christmas star in the eyes of the person. It was crazy, and the music was so like la 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 la, and I was just like, that's a style choice. That was a choice. It's funny.
It works a little better.
People are
when-
laughing.
No,
People are
Yeah,
laughing.
it works a little better when they're playing that music while they're killing bad guys. But while they're killing the innocent good people, it makes you uncomfortable.
He was like a Viking Santa Claus that has all the Celtic tattoos, and he put his a man bun, a Santa man bun, and he like takes his head off. He's like, Santa is coming to town. And
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you think that like Santa, basically they show a couple flashbacks to try to tell the story of who
look
Santa
at that,
is.
Look at that scene. That kind of
And-
it's so good.
Yeah, it's like the prequel to this movie was The Northman. Santa is
The Viking
Northman,
movie.
the
Watch
Viking.
the Viking movie and then watch the Santa movie. The Viking guy, when he dies in the end, he turns
he
into
winds up-
Santa Claus
he winds up turning into Santa Claus. So,
and puts some weight on.
but it was interesting. I mean,
all
look,
those cookies and milk. By the way, but they kept the childhood like thing. It was a magic movie, by the way.
yeah,
So it's about
The-
Santa. It's about cookies. It's about milk. It's about gifts.
Look,
it's about
David,
the tales of Christmas.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, no, David Harbour he brought a lot of dry humor to the role. He was characteristically good
He was so good.
in this role.
He did a facelift
And-
or something. He looks different. He looks more handsome.
I don't know. I think maybe it's just having a beard and long hair makes him look a bit better, or maybe he lost some weight.
Must be some of those Hollywood magic.
And John Leguizamo was pretty good as a villain.
Again, he was a villain.
He was good.
He was so
and the rest
good.
of the cast was made up of mostly people I've never heard of, except for Beverly D'Angelo.
I like the mom, the grandma, the
Yeah,
mom.
that's Beverly.
She was
D'Angelo,
great.
yes.
What she was in?
She used to be married to Al Pacino. She has kids with him, and she was in the
Does Al Pacino have kids?
the National Lampoon. Yeah, Pacino's got some kids.
Real kids, adopted or their own kids, or
He rents them for holiday occasions. No,
Go we rent a couple kids to
Yeah.
come here.
Pacino. No. She was in the National Lampoon vacation movies, like Christmas Vacation. Remember with
Okay.
Chevy Chase? You ever seen that?
I don't
National Lampoon, where
remember.
he's like the Clark
She-
Griswold.
She
and
sounds
they're-
tough. Like, was she in any action movies or Terminator? She looks like Sarah Connor a little bit.
A little bit, but I don't
They
know.
look alike, right? She sounds like it too. She's like picking up a call. She's like, "Give me my money back," and I was just
Listen,
like, oh,
you cocksucker.
"Listen to me," and I was just like, "Oh my god, I want to sound like that when I'm old."
So,
I'm
but
gonna do a lot of vaping.
the rest
Just
of-
kidding,
the
not
rest of the-
vaping at all.
yeah, the rest of the cast I have not seen in anything else, but they were
You're okay.
they were good. It was
Santa. It was Santa, the bad guy, and the grandma. That's it.
It was-
The little kid too, kind of. She was a little
Yeah.
bit the narrator in a way.
That's right. It's a lot of blood. It's funny. I don't
So
think it was
funny.
as funny. I don't think that the dark.
We're laughing the entire time.
No. It was funny, but I don't think that the dark comedy was pulled off as well as it was in the Menu. Although
They're
it's
different kinds of
different type
movie.
But
Yeah, one it's more of like the menu. It's about feeling uncomfortable. It's all about like, for example, like you order something, they say no. You're sitting there, everybody's. It's about feeling uncomfortable the entire time to the point that explodes into violence and craziness.
But
This movie is already starts in craziness. There's no uncomfortable time. It's an entire movie is violence.
but it's a similar movie in that they're both sending up archetypes of people. Like in this
Yes.
movie, they've got the grandson who's an influencer with the hair.
I think they
Brush
use a
over his
real
forehead
influencer,
and a-
by the
and a
way. I
little
think that kid
beanie.
is a real influencer. I think he's a real influencer.
He looks like the guy from Vine who used to be
He's
big.
like this. He was like this. I'll pretend I'm him. Hi guys. Hi
What's his name?
fans. Keep yourself in a positive mind.
Yeah. God, who?
And I was just like, kill that boy first,
who
please.
was this kid? Alexander Elliott.
Alexander Elliott. Can people see this?
He looks like this Vine star. I forget the name of the Vine star. Let's see if I can
No.
figure it out.
Wow.
Anyways, it's
I don't know.
but it's good. And then you got like the action movie star who's trying to marry the daughter who at least in the movie
this
is not
Eddie-
that good looking.
Eddie Patterson was really good too. She plays like a stuck-up bitch.
Yeah, like this is Edie Patterson. You know, she looks fine here, but they really kind of make her try to look not very pretty in
She's
the movie
not pretty.
to play up the.
I mean, she was kind of weird, right? She's supposed to be quirky and weird, but
Yeah.
but here she looks like a comedic cool girl, and in the movie they make her look like more of like upper class superior. Like she thinks she's amazing. She's dating
Yeah.
a movie star.
She
Was really good.
very solid. So
She
but
was
she's
one of my
dating-
favorites.
She's dating the action star who's like, you know, brainless that wants to get the grandmother to fund his movie. So you got all these archetypes. It wasn't as cutting as the archetypes that they're sending up in the Menu,
Yeah.
but it was still fun. And as a holiday movie, it was enjoyable if you're looking for something to go see. I mean, here's the way I look at movies these days because we have so much content everywhere. Is it meeting the expectation that I had when I came in? I expected a violent, kind of funny movie.
I was
about
expecting a
Santa
shitty
Claus.
movie. I was expecting a shitty movie, and
Right.
they over how do you say
Exceeded.
they exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. So if it does that, then I say it's a good movie. I give it a good rating.
Good
Same
rating.
with the Menu.
Everybody
You
was
know,
laughing.
Not every movie has to be Citizen Kane. It doesn't always have to have
Suffering.
a message.
Doesn't have to be
Have to
suffering.
make a statement. It doesn't have to be powerful.
No.
It can just be entertaining for the 2 hours while you're sitting in your Cinemark recliner chair with an ice cold beer stein and some warm kettle corn.
Next
then-
to the love of your life.
That's right. And then you can forget about it when you leave and move on because you'll be on your phone the minute you're out of the theater and you'll be looking at new shit. You'll be looking at Twitter. So by that scale,
I don't have Twitter, by the way.
I give it a good review.
I don't have a Twitter.
Well, follow the Dante Greco show on Twitter. It's verified. I paid $8 for that. So.
I don't have Twitter. Like, I don't know. I never really liked it. I think it's a little bit for the elder generation, but it's okay. I like Instagram more. Anyways, but what I was gonna say, I enjoyed the movie. I recommend the shitty holiday movies this year are amazing.
Yeah, agreed.
So
So
go watch it.
we give it 2. I give it 5 Celsiuses.
I give 5 popcorns.
5 kettle corns.
For 5 kettle corns, crunchy and perfect for each movie. I recommend those movies. So watch it. It's fun.
Yeah. So once
And-
more, we're talking about Violent Night.
Violent Night.
And we're talking about The Menu.
Yeah, chef. Oh yeah. And they do this all the time in a movie. Wait.
Yeah, chef. Okay, everybody. Is there anything you want to say, babe, before we go? Anywhere you want people to follow you or subscribe to her page? I put it in the description of this video. Evie
My
Montevelli.
Instagram is private now, but my YouTube is available for the public. It's my Evie Montevelli.
That's right. She's quite knowledgeable about the world of tech, and she gives tech talks, and it's a good follow.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching here, and watch the holiday movies that are amazing this year. Like, I'm excited. I want to see what's the next shitty movie out there.
I don't know. Let's check our local listings.
Thank you. Subscribe to the Dante Greco Show, Dante Greco Twitter and TikTok and Instagram.
I deleted TikTok. It's a Chinese spy app, so I deleted it. But have a great time.
Bye, guys.
Have a good life. We will see you soon.
Much love.
Thank you.
Love.
All right, Daniel.
So once again, thank you to my brother. Tell him your name again.
Dante Greco.
2 words. Made in America.
Dante, you're doing great.
I never done anybody over in my life.
Listen, I want you to leave my good friend Ringo alone.
My pal, Hal.
Pretend you're a horse in a parade.
Have a good day.